Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Mark Lee, and I'm a show host in some respect. Um, I moderate a lot of conventions around the world. I've done Germany for 20 years over the last, I haven't done it in a few years, for the last few years ago. This show is called Voices from Fandom. And what I basically do, along with my other shows that I do with co hosts, of course, we just got finished this morning with Saturday morning cartoons that we do at 9 a.m. every Saturday. And basically, we go back in time and we talk about what you grew up with, the cartoons that you grew up with. I'm a big Hanna-Barbera fan. I'm a big Hanna-Barbera superheroes fan. Moby Dick, Mighty Mike Tor. I'm a number one Johnny Quest fan. Okay, so we do Saturday morning cartoons every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. EST, East Coast time. And we've been doing that we are in our 6th year of doing that show. 6 years of Saturday morning cartoons. We thought we would run out of material, but we're still going strong with unique stuff. This morning, which show ended about an hour and a half ago. Is that about right? Yeah, something like that. No, less than that, about an hour ago. This week's segment was on cartoon theme songs. Now, along with, in relationship to this show that you guys are watching right now, we usually have sometimes some copyright issues, and that is we would show things that probably we shouldn't, or the bots will knock us off the air because we are showing that. I'm going to gamble with something today, but in case that happened, forewarning, I just want you guys to reattach again. I'm going to be uploading it again, then you guys can reattach, and I just, will accept the smack on the hand if that happens. The other show that we do is classic television SmackDown, and much like Saturday morning cartoons, instead of animation style, we delve back into primetime shows back in the day. You guys, if you're a product of the 60s or the 70s or your 80s, we're your show. We have a lot of fun. We show clips. We usually talk about 10 shows during an hour and a half long show. Sometimes our show goes 2 hours. It just depends on, how great it is. And we have what's called a chat room. You guys know what a chat room. It is an interactive room that if there's anything you guys want to say or you want to mention during this program, you are more than able to go ahead and make comment. And then within reason, we'll put it up on the screen so that you can see it. Another show that I do is Voices from Fandom. Along with Voices from Fandom is Mark Knows Everyone. And basically, I take all of my talented friends, people that I know, and I bring them into forelight. They're celebrities in their own right, just like our celebrities today. And, I just want to highlight them, showcase them. I didn't make up the name Mark Knows Everybody. It was actually a poll, and people said it should be called that, and thus we did that. So today's show, let's get into it right now, is a show on something that we grew up with. And I'm going to show you guys, and hopefully nothing will happen to us. I'm going to show you guys a snippet of what it is you guys remember. Okay, and I'll show as much of it as I possibly can within reason. So take a look at maybe about a minute of this, and this will take you back to the reason of why you are watching this show currently. And we know how the rest goes. I saw this movie in the theater day one, as well as Star Wars, if you want to start dating exactly how old I am. It's a long time. In day one, I saw these movies in the theater, and they are memorable movies. They're movies where currently you as an adult, you remember starkly, and I mean starkly, various scenes, emotions, your attitude, your feelings at the time. And it was a game winner for me, and it changed everything in terms of motion pictures. I think it was 1979 that Alien came out. I think. I hope somebody corrects me if I'm wrong on that. And it was during a time where there were cheesy movies out as well as brilliant movies. Of course, a few years back, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back was still going on, and things of that nature, and of course, Alien. My favorite out of that group of movies was Aliens, plural. Okay, Aliens. That movie took my breath away. It was really fantastic. It was interesting. But today we have one, possibly two guests for you. One of our guests is en route. He's in traffic in Heathrow right now, and hopefully he'll be able to join us shortly. But there was a series that was just created, and I have to really be honest with you on this. When I first heard that a network was going to try and emulate, imitate, continue, prequel, sequel, whatever word you want to put to it, when I heard that this network was going to attempt a revisit of the Alien universe, first thing came to my mind was, don't do it. It's not going to work. It's going to flop. It's going to be terrible. I mean, how can you bring something like this on television and expect it to do well? Boy, was I wrong. I was wrong. I was interrupted. I was just totally spellbounded. And the series that we're going to talk about right now is this one. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my fantastic co-host. We are two of three. One of our co-hosts, Joe Thompson, can't join us for today. He has some family duties that he has to attend to, which is absolutely fine. But this guy that you're looking at on the screen right now, and if you haven't read the name, he's Mark too. So this is very confusing with the Mark and Mark show.
It's stereo.
Yeah. Mark, what is your favorite thing, or let's say your favorite production value of science fiction motion pictures?
Oh, like just one element?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, since I'm going to have to pick something from Aliens because that's what the topic of the show. But the thing is that, when that second movie hit like DVD and all that, there is that director's cut. And in that director's cut, you see this production level where they actually put the turret guns out and they fight the aliens and turn them back. And so in the movie, the first release, you think the aliens just come right on. No, they had already had this battle. So that whole setup and how they filmed that with the guns firing and the back and forth of the dialogue is just one of my favorite aspects. And it was something that was cut from the original release.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I don't like monologuing, as they called it. In fact, if you see the movie The Incredibles, the villain was monologuing, and I think the main character hated people monologuing. And it's like, my God, man, I'm fighting for my life. I don't have time to talk, more or less than breathe. But that's interesting on that. I think what we see in this new series, and we're going to bring our guest up shortly, waiting in the lobby, listening profusely here, is after Aliens, they did so many other alien movies that I can't say they all were necessary.
No, they weren't.
They all definitely weren't good. I mean, they didn't hit a freaking home run, with every scene. In fact, if you look at where this series that we're talking about today, and this is television, everything else was motion pictures. Now we're talking about TV, which is like, I never thought that it could be as good as it is. But if you really look at the breakdown of where Alien stands, in terms of this list of movies, I would have never I was so confused because there was so many different Alien movies. I'm like, okay, when is this? Okay, when did this happen? Is this before? Is it after? A prequel, a sequel, whatever? And luckily, we have this chart here where we literally see where Alien, if you look, it's third on the list before the hit breaker, the movie that started it all. Okay, this Alien Earth that we're going to talk about today kind of really straightens out my brain. Like I took hot iron and put my head on the ironing board and iron, and then it's like, oh, well, of course,
Yes.
you know, Prometheus. We kind of knew that was tops on the list as being number one.
Yeah, you know,
I don't even
the,
think
the
I
thing
remember.
is that
But go ahead, Mark.
Prometheus, Covenant, I think we can just forget about those films.
Okay.
and then
I don't know, man.
Did you see when Romulus came out? You know, there's that whole scene where they get to the space station, and you're like, you see the destruction there. I'm like, I wanted to see that movie. What are we doing after the fact? So, I mean, there's been so many missteps in the Alien franchise.
Yeah, because we look at Alien, and basically, we didn't care about what I'm about to say to you, but we were wondering, you know, where is this future? What is this all about? You see all of the words come across the screen for Nostromo and yada yada, and we're like, well, okay, so we're somewhere in the future. Obviously, we know it's science fiction because here's this big honking, you know, spacecraft going through, and it's a freaking refinery or a miner, let's say, and it's like, okay, well, here we go. But I think we got somebody here who can probably straighten us out on this entire list. And I'm going to go ahead and bring him up. Now, Calvin is an incredible cinematography. And in fact, I want him to talk about his own bio because I'll screw it up.
Yeah.
And Calvin Greer is his name. And he is someone incredibly, how you doing, Calvin?
I'm good. Thank you for
somebody who's incredibly important to me when I was talking to you, Mark, about, you know, production value or you know, that, I mean, special effects. If you're just going to be filming standalone actors all the time with no background, no scenery, no special effects, no models, no nothing, you know, it's like, well, you really don't have a movie. You got an interview. Okay, so Calvin, let's talk a little bit about who you are, what you're responsible for, and basically what is your credits to date, the ones that you are most proud of, I guess we can say, or the ones that you think, I shouldn't say you're most proud of, but the ones that we would probably recognize the most as saying you were partly responsible for that.
Oh, wow. Thanks for having me. So my name is Calvin Greer. I've been in the film industry now professionally 15 years. Yeah, 15. And it's hard to think about that sometimes when I think about going back down memory lane. But initially I started in this business because of my dad. My dad was a photographer. I grew up around cameras. Never aspired to be a photographer or in film. I actually went to school for engineering. I wanted to design race cars. And by the third semester of math, I was fried. So, like a lot of kids, dropped out of college, aimlessly running around. Also, I'm also a veteran of Marine Corps. Hoorah, Simplified.
Hey, thank you for your service, brother.
Appreciate that. But I ended up in film because of my cousin. I had a cousin that came by and was like, man, I want to use your computer. Lee sent you that picture. Oh, yeah, Lee sent that.
You can blame him. When he pops in, you can blame him.
But I ended up at Full Sail University in Orlando, where I ended up graduating with my bachelor's in film, and I ended up going back for my master's. So the first movie, let me back that up. I'll give you a funny story about the first two movies that I'm very proud of to say that are part of cinematic history. Got a call from a girl that I graduated the bachelor's program with, and she was working for Marvel at the time. She was like, hey, you still shooting, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, I'm actually back in school for my master's. I said, I'm about to graduate. She's like, so I got this movie I want to get you hired for. I said, cool. That movie ended up being Spider-Man Homecoming.
Nice.
I went through the whole interview process in the middle of class. I stepped out in the hallway, and the executives were like, "Hey, you getting ready to graduate? So no, we want you to graduate school, but we're gonna keep your resume on file and everything." So I was like, "Man." A week later, she called me back again. She was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get you on this movie." I said, "Listen, I will quit school right now. I can always come back and graduate." That movie was the first Black Panther.
Cool.
Whoa,
Went through
awesome.
the interview process, same thing. Oh, we love your work, blah blah blah. But you're still in school. So by that time, these movies were in pre-production at the time. So by this time, I graduated and I'm back in Wisconsin, where I'm from. And she gives me a call. She's like, "Please tell me you're out of school." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Yo, can you get to Atlanta?" I said, "Yeah, I can get to Atlanta." She said, "I need you here this Friday." I said, "Okay." So I get to Atlanta and I'm interviewing for this film, and they won't tell me anything about the movie in the interview process, anything. So I'm like, dang. I'm right over at the time it was Pinewood Studios, which is now Triller. And
Yeah.
so I go in for the interview that Friday morning, and she calls me and she says, "Yo, you got the job, but you don't know it. Play dumb." I said, "Okay, no problem." So I get a call probably 30 minutes later. Calvin would offer you the job. Well, I said, "Oh, cool." So I'm thinking I'm gonna fly back to Wisconsin, get my stuff, and come back to Atlanta. I had to start that Monday,
Oh,
so I
Oof.
never went home.
wow.
So yeah, so I ended up crashing with some friends and whatnot, and I just bought clothes for an entire week so I could get back home one weekend to get everything and get back down here. That ended up being Infinity War and Endgame.
Cool.
In
So
game.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. So we did them both together, back to back.
Yeah.
Um, and shooting those two movies took over a year, and there was a gap in between both films because we had to go to Ireland to shoot. I wasn't needed to go to Ireland, so in between the month that production was shut down and I was still here in Atlanta, which is now my home, I went and shot Rampage with The Rock. I ended up shooting that entire movie, had 2 days off, and went right back into Endgame.
Wow.
So I
Cool.
shot 3 movies in 1 year.
That's amazing.
Dude, that
Yeah.
sounds like more shell shock than you would have in any military
Yeah.
service you were involved in. Good God, man. And I
Yeah. That's
saw, of course, both those, well, let's say all three, if you
yeah.
want to go. No, four. He's already mentioned four movies.
Yes.
Homecoming, Endgame, Infinity Wars, which was first, of course, and then Rampage, which I saw. And you worked. What was your official title through all of those movies, or did they in fact change for each movie?
No. So my official title for all three of those was webcam operator. So what a webcam operator does is basically you're filming not only the scene, but also all the camera movements in the scene and the visual effects. Because there's some days where we may be in a studio setting, everybody's in a mocap suit. Um, you don't necessarily have all of the props and everything that you may see in the film itself. We may have a foam gun or whatnot because what we're capturing is the movements so that can be uploaded into whichever software that they're using at the time for visual effects. And then
Yeah.
there are other
Yeah.
times we're actually on set and we're capturing the scene as well as the A camera, B camera, C camera, or you can just say the main cameras at the same time so that we get exactly what the main cameras are recording. Also, we have it in real time too as what the actors are doing. And that all of that
Okay.
helps when we have to put that in the system for the visual effects.
Cool.
Wow. I don't know how you can edit all that with so many cameras working at the same time and pulling all that together, man. That's definitely a major league skill there, you know?
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
As long as I've been doing this, I always tell people if anybody ever told you that they're the master, at least in this industry, of something, walk away, because every day technology changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would never tell somebody that I am the master of something, because there's always something different to learn every day.
Yeah.
Different skill
Well,
sets.
I have to say, I don't know if I could do all of what you've done without probably having, a couple of decades of experience before I feel comfortable of actually taking over something like that, but your career is admirable. I'm sure it was even more important doing, I mean, you should get a lot of props just for having stuff for us to watch during COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Because we were
COVID was
stuck on the
funny.
couch, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, man.
COVID was funny. I actually was doing Falcon and Winter Soldier when COVID happened. We were in Prague shooting, and it was something out of a movie. It was a Monday. Everybody, we had just wrapped for the day. We were back at our hotel. We stayed at the Intercontinental in Prague, and a lot of people were going out to dinner. People were meeting people at the bar for dinner or drinks or whatnot. And it's just like, I remember being in a hotel bar with a lot of the crew and cast, and everybody's phone went off at one time.
Mm.
At the time, the U.S. borders were getting shut down because of
Yep.
COVID. And that next day, the actors, all HODs had to fly out. We had to fly out the day after because we had to secure all our gear at the studio we were using there. And we actually left Prague late. Our plane was late. We went from Prague to Heathrow in London. We were on one side of the airport. We had to make it to the other side of the airport to catch our plane. Otherwise, we were going to be stuck in London. And so you got all these people running through the airport with always a couple of people staying back to make sure that we got everybody. I think we made our plane by 10 minutes.
Wow.
It was something out of a movie. And we ended up going back to Prague once you could go back to work again, but it was different. Where before we flew commercial going through the airport like everybody does every day, Disney actually flew us out from a private airport.
Wow.
Which is the airport that the Atlanta Hawks use. They parked the plane on the runway. We boarded the plane from the runway. When we got to Prague, they shut down one whole section of the airport just for the crew because they didn't want us to have any interaction with anybody that was not part of the film crew.
Right.
The hotel that we stayed in, we were the only guests in the hotel. Disney rented out the entire hotel.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it goes to show not only the value of the work, but also the value of the people. I mean, if they thought you were replaceable, they would have had people in the States to just carry on what you guys had started overseas. And my bad on you guys being stuck overseas. But no, man, they pulled out all kinds of ropes and strings and whatever to get you guys back home side.
Yeah.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes my opinion a little bit of Disney just by doing that. And I'm in Orlando, dude, so I got a lot of things to be, crappy about when it comes to the theme parks, at least, But Mark, you got any questions you want to shoot to him?
Say, it was a really interesting time, and I have actor friends who said for shows they were working on, they had to be flown out and then isolate in their hotel room for 2 weeks before they could film their segments for TV shows as well as movies. So it had to be so incredible challenging to get work done. I'm so impressed that you were able to do anything at all.
Yeah, I am.
It was
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Calvin.
I was just saying that it was very weird because I remember after COVID, I was on Spider-Man and Spider-Man No Way Home, and we shot that here in Atlanta at which is now Trilla. And every day when you pulled up to the gate, you had to get temperature checks.
Sure. Yeah.
COVID tests once a week, like I call it the brain swab.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, bro. Oh, no kidding.
And
they went through the top, man. It was like I had a Flintstone hickey on top of my head or something. That's how far they went.
And ironically, I actually got COVID on Spider-Man.
Oh no!
I didn't know I had it because I was asymptomatic. So one morning I'm getting ready to leave. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. My phone's ringing and I see an LA number and I'm like, what? So I ignored it. And it just kept calling. So finally I said, well, let me answer the phone. And I, oh, yeah, who's this? Who? They was like, is this Calvin? I said, yeah, who's this? Who's this? They was like, this is health and safety. I said, oh, they said, where are you at right now? I said, man, I'm getting ready to get in my car and head to the studio. They said, oh, no, you don't. You positive. So I was like, what?
Wow.
So yeah, so for the next 14 days, I was at home. So, but I still, although I had COVID, I actually worked while I was home.
Yeah.
So I got a call from the VFX producers. They was like, hey, if you want to help out, know while you get home, know if you feel up to it. So I was like, sure, because like I said, I was asymptomatic.
That's nice. Yeah.
Nothing. So I would actually help log footage from home.
Cool.
So
wow.
Yeah. I can't even imagine just the challenge of doing a production during that time. It had to be just insanity.
Health and safety was nobody's favorite department.
I bet. Indeed.
Now, kudos to them. They kept us safe, but it was a pain to everybody. It was a necessary pain. So I always did my best to be respectful of everybody's health and safety. And they were cool people. They were awesome people. I actually made really good friends that worked in health and safety. They was just a department that nobody liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. What I like to do is to keep our audiences, biting at the bit, because they knew what the basically the focus of this show was. But you can't talk about a show or anybody responsible for the show without knowing who those people are. All right. So I'm sure there's a lot more. We need to just do a solid show just on Calvin alone and just literally call it the Calvin Greer hour or something like that, But we know what our viewers right now online is waiting for. And once again, if you're available to text us any questions or anything of that nature, I'm not sure. Hey, Mike, do me a favor. Mike, I know you're listening. I know you're watching because you've been putting up posts. Can you go ahead and check all of our platforms to make sure we didn't get knocked off just for any of those videos? I don't see that we are knocked off, but I like to just have it verified by a viewer literally being on that channel. So, Mike, I want you to go take a look at YouTube as well as the Facebook pages. I don't know if I'm broadcasting on Twitch or not. Maybe I am. I don't know. But check those pages, Mike, out and see what you can find. In the meantime, like I mentioned before, there's something that has happened that I don't know if you heard me in the beginning. I wasn't too hyped out about them coming on. Oh, yeah, FX and Hulu are putting up, Alien Earth. I don't know. It reminded me of some other series I can't think of that they kind of hyped the hell out of it, and it ended up sucking royally, man, like big time. I was like, what the hell am I watching? There's
so many of those.
It just left a bad taste in my mouth when a TV network is going to steal an iconic movie such as Alien and try to reproduce it on the screen. Nah, this ain't gonna work. You're gonna screw up. Nah, I don't even know why you're wasting your time. I'm not watching this crap. No. And my partner here on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, Mark, was the one who kept the hype going up.
I was so excited.
Oh man, I'm so psyched. Oh man, I'm so excited. Oh man, this is gonna be so cool. And I never listen to people like that. It's like, oh yeah, okay, right. You're not gonna call me after you see the first episode. I know it. You're not gonna call me, and I'm gonna tell you, I enjoy being wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not. Sometimes I can't be the smartest tool in the box, but I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And I saw this first episode, and we score, Calvin, when we do movie reviews sometimes and blah 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 blah. And my holy grails are 8, 9s, and 10. So we score from 1 to 10, 8, 9s, and 10. Movies that once you cross the 8, you're in my holy trinity. I meant to say you're in my holy trinity. It's like, oh yeah, off the hook. Give you a prime example of how hard it is to get into my holy trinity. Endgame was a 10.
Yeah.
I don't do 10s.
Right.
I don't do 10s. It's like, dude, you better walk on water if you want to
Exactly.
10 with it. It was a 10. Okay. So I gave the first episode of Alien Earth an 8. And that's really kind of unusual for our first episode.
Well, and for a TV show.
There. Yeah, they're trying to throw a lot in there to get you interested to come back and yada, yada, yada. And luckily, it was 2 episodes during that premiere. So I watched the second episode and I said, holy crap, I'm giving a freaking TV show a 9.
Yep.
I'm like, what the hell? I said, I'm giving the TV show a 9.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what Calvin, I'm dragging, man, so I'm sorry, but I gotta say this. My guys know that I am big into writing. Okay. If I can predict something in a storyline, in a show, in a movie, you suck. Okay, simple as that. Okay, because the Butler did it, and I knew it. I saw it coming when the opening credits were on. I said, the Butler did it, whatever. And third episode was getting me deeper into this because this is everything we wanted to know, especially when in the beginning when I was talking about Alien, the movie. It's like, where do these people come from? What is this group? Who are these people? Yada, yada, yada. And of course, we never got nothing other than in this list where they try to explain who they are and what they were doing, but we didn't get the full story much. And I think Alien Earth is touching closer into this than I think any of these movies did. I don't know, Mark, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And just diving into just how influential the corporations are to everything that happens in everybody's daily life, I think is huge aspect to this for sure.
Right.
So, and I would love to know, so real quick. So Calvin, I would love to know. So when you first joined the project, I'm really curious, without spoilers, obviously, what was the one concept that made you go, oh, this is going to be epic?
The fact that it was still Ridley Scott. You had Noah Hawley. No, he's responsible for Fargo. He still kept us, which is his DP, who also became our showrunner and one of the directors for a lot of the episodes on Alien Earth. So when you look at their body of work, and if you are a fan of it, you always give it a chance.
Yes.
And on top of that, it's Aliens.
Yeah.
Like you said in the show, it's one of the premier movies that a lot of people grew up on.
Yeah.
You love the storyline, you love being scared, you love the visuals, what you saw and everything. Because the way that I joined the project, and it's funny, Mark Street, that you have the Captain America shield behind you.
Right.
I was actually on Brave New World.
Oh, nice.
All about aliens. And my supervisor at the time was like, hey, man, you want to go to Thailand? I was like, what? I said, sure, okay. And he said, a mutual friend of ours who I worked before on Falcon and Winter Soldier was like, hey, he's doing a show in Thailand. We'll give him a call. So I gave him a call. He was like, hey, Cal, blah, blah, blah. Can't tell you what it's about, but, I'm doing this long show in Bangkok. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So what I didn't realize is our last principal week of shooting Brave New World, we were in Washington, D.C. at the White House. He calls me. He goes, so I need you here on the 4th. I said, the 4th of what? The 4th of July. You'll fly out that weekend. We literally wrapped Captain America Brave New World on Friday, flew back to Atlanta on Saturday. Sunday, I was on a plane to Bangkok for the next month.
Wow.
Oh, dude.
Happened that fast.
That's awesome.
So, Calvin.
Yep.
Are you married?
No.
Good. Because you'd probably be divorced by now.
True. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was an adventure. And for me, once I found out what the project was, of course I found out what it was on the way over there and everything. And I was getting information on the flight. So I'm reading the script, I'm looking at storyboards, things like that. And I touched down, got to the office, and in the visual effects office, we had a lot of the different aliens that you see in the show. We had the drawings, mannequins, props, and whatnot. So I was like, it's something I'm used to seeing in my world, but also it was just like surreal because it's like I grew up watching this. I remember going to bed terrified, like this is the alien, like this is it.
Right.
And sitting in production meetings and everything, and you're listening to Noah, you're listening to Dana, my visual effects supervisor, producer, great Jeff Oken, and James Lutwell, and everything. And this is what we're going to do. This is what we need you to do. And it's always a surreal moment. Like, as long as I've been doing this, I still fan out on the productions themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we had an amazing crew, super talented, amazing crew. And it's just like, and actually some people that I worked with on various movies that I didn't even know were going to be there. So that makes it all more better because you're familiar with them already, besides new people that you meet. And I can say we truly had an international crew, not just from our counterparts there in Thailand, but we had a production designer from Germany. We had people from Australia, from New Zealand, people from Italy. So it's just like you just had this international crew that just did this great body of work. And what made Aliens Earth special to me, because when you go down the list of the previous Alien movies and you remember what happened in those movies versus what you're putting together for this production, it explains a lot more, like you were alluding to earlier. And then two, technology, because we've came so far, how much more realism we can give it. And your imagination is your limit, so therefore it's limitless.
Yeah.
And I mean, it by far was one of the hardest shows that I've worked on because of locations and the things that we were able to do. But it was also one of the most enjoyable.
Oh, that's great. That's always good to hear. And I feel like, the franchise has this distinct DNA to it, right? This atmosphere and design. And the thing is that you have to preserve that, but then also move forward. How have you guys been dealing with that challenge?
It's never easy.
Yeah.
It's never easy. I can tell you about times that, the biggest thing to me about working in Thailand was the heat.
Yeah, I heard
the hottest 2 months out of the year are April and May. It's like 100 plus every day, and that's straight heat. That's not the humidity. Humidity always hits when the sun goes down. Then everything is sticky when you go outside. But when you think about the locations that we shot in, and we didn't just shoot in Bangkok. We went to Koh Samui. We went to other places outside of Bangkok. The locations themselves, we couldn't replicate that here.
Yeah,
we don't have
makes sense.
Like that. But then also the creature work, the different vendors that we had come in for the creatures, the different, like I said, we had an international crew, set designers. The vision that Dana and Noah had for the show, the visions that James and Jeff had for this show, it was just amazing. And some days you're sitting there like, how are we going to pull this off?
Yeah.
This is where people's talents come into play.
Yeah.
Hey, if we do X, Y, Z, we can make this look even better. You may have one aspect of how you want to do something, and somebody comes along, well, if we do this, we can get a better visual of doing this and that. And it's just everybody's knowledge in one big pool and able to pull from it.
Right. So how tight do you have to be to the conceptuals, to the ideas, to the thought, even the drawing sketches or whatever? Do they give you a little bit of leeway where they would kind of chime in and say, "Hey, look, man, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Let's try to get something different." How on target were you with a lot of stuff that you received?
Very on target.
Yeah.
Very on target. And a lot of times we would do things that were already sketched out for the day, but then somebody had an idea. And see if we can make it even better. And
Yeah.
if it made sense and the right people can visualize it, which it always seems that it did, we shot it. Oh yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
that was an epic day. That was
what is this?
We had an
What is
epic
this,
water
Calvin?
fight. That is in Bangkok at the studio. That is Song Kong, which is the
That's awesome.
Thai holiday festival of water.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That shirt I had on, and yeah, everybody had water guns, and you just went at it. The directors got into it, the actors got into it, every department was involved. So it was,
Okay.
it was
All on company time though, right? All on company time.
No, we had raps. We had raps.
Yeah, rap. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, Lee threw a few photos my way. I see here, and I think I saw some from yours as well. So all right, let's get deep into this storyline now, okay? Because as we all know, there are characters that are in this show that are highly responsible for the direction that the whole Alien franchise was headed for, already into. I shouldn't say headed for, because headed for would have been Alien, but no, this is kind of prequel kind of stuff, right? And I guess my question on this is, how was your interaction with any of the actors? Anyone you have any favorite loves for, or yeah, you can say dislikes. We're not going to report you. You're live, but you know.
You know what?
What's that?
I can honestly say the entire acting team was phenomenal. And I'm not just saying that to.
Good to hear.
Yeah. But I mean, every day that you saw somebody, they were joyous, welcoming. Hey, how you doing? And because our acting team was small and compared to a lot of other shows, you had a personal vested interest. We would all go to dinner together. We would go hang out together. When their families came in, you got introduced to their families, and you know, it was a very personal set.
Nice.
Even with our executive staff, everybody knew everybody's name. Everybody hung out. Everybody went and did things together. And there are days that you don't get along with everybody else, but at the end of the day, there'll be apologies. You know what? I know I got on your nerve today. You know, blah, 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 blah. I know we blew up at each other. But when you look at it in hindsight, the things that you're fighting for is to put out the best thing that you can put out for the show.
Yeah.
You only do that when you believe in something. Because if you don't care, you free willy-nilly, like, I don't care. But you didn't have any of that.
Good.
Everybody that fought one another was for the betterment of their department for the show. And at the end of the day, we all sitting up there having our kumbaya moments like, hey, I know I worked your day today, Mark. Mark, I know I pissed you off, but I had to get this. I had to shoot that. I had to. And it's like, you know what? I get it. Because you're trying to stay on time, stay on budget. And it's just about the show because everybody put their all into it.
That's really good.
That's professionalism right there, man.
It is
professionalism, you know, really is. You know, you can't like everybody that you work with, but the product, you're all in it for the same thing, same idea. You know, so that's
so good to hear.
It is.
So look, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying it is.
Yeah, and the thing, I've been on some sets where not everyone gets along, and so people pair off into different areas, and the mood on the set is so down. And other sets where everybody's just jovial and working together, and it's such a different atmosphere. So,
yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, guys, all of you, well, mainly Calvin, is I'm gonna run through every single one of these photos. They're not in any specific order whatsoever. So if you, Calvin, can just tell us what you know. I was hoping that Lee could join us, but Lee said, nope, just have me for another day, Mark. And I know that's going to be fine to do, but at least we get your impression. At least you can talk about Lee all you want if you want to. Okay, because
I'll just wait.
Let me go through these pictures, and you just kind of tell me what to see and what you know.
So you're back on the Maginot. Very beginning of the film. This is one of the most awesome sets that I have been on. Like I said, the level of craftsmanship and the people that we were able to bring together for this. Great days, long days. Because a lot of this didn't have anything to do with the alien. The previous picture, next picture that you just went to, our alien. That guy is awesome because what a lot of people don't realize is that suit, once he puts it on, is sealed up. It is airtight. And to do the things that he did in that suit and to stay in there as long as he could before they had to take the helmet off. And they actually hooked up fans to that suit to cool his body off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a trooper. He is a super trooper.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Hey, so what's that material, at least on not the head, but at least on the body? What's that material?
I could not tell you what that material is. It's very doable, very tough because the things that he did in that suit, it did not tear, it didn't rip, bust open. And I believe in talking to the company that made the suit, I think that suit was around $300,000 to make.
Wow. Yeah, I believe it. Oh my gosh. Mackerel. It's really nice to see the mixture of practical effects and digital effects. So it makes me wonder too, was there a moment where you were like, okay, that you did digital effects and combine them with the practical that you couldn't have done it any other way?
Episode 2. I'm sorry. It's episode 2 or episode 3? No, episode 2.
Okay.
At the dinner party.
Oh, yeah.
That was some of the most, I loved every moment on set, but that particular day, me and Lee both had those shots, and the things that he was able to do in that suit.
Yeah.
Was that actually episode 2, guys?
Yes. Yeah, that was
yes.
Yep.
Okay. That was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen my caption? Because this is off of my Facebook page.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah.
Even the alien
in between takes,
break in between kills.
That's what you said. That's what you said. That cracked me up, man. This is so unreal. Look, this picture made me think I could take him. You know, this picture convinced me that this is a pushover dude right here. You know, so yeah, come at me, man. Come at me, bro.
That scene itself, I think we worked on that scene for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
From beginning to end, that particular set was, well, that particular moment in the episode was about 3 weeks. But the things that our stunt team, he was able to do on that suit, just the level of set decoration. That's Corey. He was our first AD. The way he ran a set, he ran a good set. There were many days that Corey probably wanted to choke me out because I was trying to do last minute things. Many days I'm like, I just need this time. That's
awesome.
Better first ADs that I have worked with. He was very personal.
Cool.
He cared about everybody on the crew.
Nice.
I mean, everybody. If it was somebody's birthday, he was gonna make it special.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome. That's what you need, man.
Yeah.
That's what you need to get good work out of actors. You got to treat them like they're human.
Yeah,
man, you know?
Exactly. Just the crew. It wasn't just our actors. The whole crew.
Just the crew, right? Yeah. And so, Calvin, how tall was this actor in the suit? Is he on stilts at any point, or is he right?
When he's in that suit, he's on stilts because he's literally
between
8 and 9 feet. But outside of that suit, he's like 6'3", 6'4".
Wow.
Still a big boy. Yeah.
He must be pretty adept at using the stilts then. Like they're just second nature to him.
They make all of their stilts, they're made more like shoes for comfort level and also to make sure that he can get in those low positions. He's running and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Running. That makes me think of that same scene, but before the alien pops into the room, just how so throughout the show, even how you have it kind of seamlessly blend into the background, and that one specifically was awesome because blending in with the statue, and then you see it move. That was so cool.
Oh, it really was. A lot of times when we shoot, Dana was over that episode, and I remember, we would go back and look at the playbacks and look at the monitors, and although they're not polished for you all to see as the viewers, but what we see, when something is good and when something is bad. But he did such a phenomenal job in that suit, and a lot of times we'd be ready to move on, and he'd be like, "No, I think I can do it better."
Oh, cool.
I think I can do it better. Our whole stunt team, sometimes they'll say, "Hey, we want another crack at this. We want to do better." A lot of times, Dana would challenge them, like, "No, I kind of didn't like that," and it's like, "What is?" But they would deliver. They delivered time and time and time again, and they were just phenomenal.
Yeah. So cool. I mean, there's so many neat things going on in the show too, with like that plus, like I said, the digital. So every one of these Alien movies have their own kind of take on the Xeno life cycle. And in episode 3, we see a new take on the embryo thing, which is so incredibly neat. So what were some of the new challenges around some of these new things that you're doing?
Visual effects wise, everything. Everything.
Makes sense.
What was asked for us, what they wanted, the way that we had to deliver it, the way that we had to shoot it. Jeff Oken was very strategic in the way that we shot it. He was entrusted to design a lot of the things that you saw, because I would see him on his iPad.
Yeah.
This is me learning from him, where I told you that nobody could say that they're the master of one.
Yeah.
And he would explain things to me. He's like, "Hey, blah, 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 this. We need to do this. So today, got to make sure that you capture this." And so this is where you have a lot of the fights on set. Because I'm trying to get all the information, the shots that we need to give this. Lee is doing the same thing. Jeff is doing the same thing. And now you're going head to head with Corey and a couple of other people because you want to stay on schedule. Money is time, time is money. And it's like, this is what we're fighting. Like, listen, we got to capture it this way. You want to turn this into $1 million shot? You want to keep us on budget? And I need this. And so you have a fight, and you get it. Everybody respects everybody because it's like, listen, just give me this 5 minutes. Just give me this shot. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And
neat.
In the end, it all worked out. But
those,
and I call them respectful fights.
Yeah.
You're gonna bang
respect.
A bit, but you have to stand on business, and they have to stand on business too.
Yeah, and everybody's just trying to have the top of their game, is what it sounds like. Which I love that work ethic. It's so good.
Yeah, it sounded like that you guys. It sounded like that you guys were a working team, regardless of the disagreements. You're still a working team. So that works.
Yeah, that makes me wonder then. With the directors, the cinematographers, and stunt team, was there a moment in that collaboration that completely changed how the scene played out?
It does, because one of the benefits of having your director is also a cinematographer, which was Dana.
Yeah.
Dana Gonzalez. It's the best of both worlds because visually he can see how he conceptualized the shot from a cinematographer standpoint, and also with the director as a director, what you're trying to get out of the actor or get out of that moment. And it's easier to translate to the camera operators.
Okay, yeah.
For the camera operators, it's all one language. And for us as the visual effects people, it's all one language, because what I do, I go hand in hand with the camera operators. That's what I do, just in a different sense. And a lot of times the same thing. So it's like a seamless workflow. It is seamless. And so for us, every time we're on set, it transforms because
Yeah.
you have to take what's written on that paper as far as dialogue and also what's on that paper as far as the storyboards, and you have to bring it to life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're one mind. We may see differently how to bring it together, but we are all able to communicate the same thing.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been on, and Mark and I both have been on a few filming sets, you know, whether it's TV or motion picture.
Yep.
And I know how hard and how long it takes just to put together a shot.
Yeah.
What do you think your longest setup for a shot was? Where was it? When was it? How was it? What do you know?
As far as season 1 for Aliens Earth, it's an episode that has not happened yet.
Okay.
It has not been
Uh-oh.
released. But it's also one of the most important aspects of the entire season 1. And
Cool.
looking at the timeline, the way the show is running now, it should be coming up fairly quickly.
Okay.
And I think that you'll all recognize it, but it's also one of the most pivotal points. And to me, one of the best episodes, not only to have worked on, but it was one of the hardest because of the conditions we were in.
Oh, interesting.
One of the things that I really love about this show is that we were probably 70% location, 30% studio on this. So when you're on location, you get thrown a lot of curveballs, not just from the weather, but terrain, where you can set up, how you can set up, things change. You have to think about time. Is this a morning shot? How they you got to really stay on schedule because of sunlight, sun patterns. If it was overnight, we really got to get this done before daybreak.
Yeah, right.
So plus you're dealing with humidity, bugs, rain, everything else, and the footing, the where you are. And so that moment in the film was probably the hardest, but it was also one of the best. And I'm very excited to see that, because I'm always asking everybody after every episode, what did you guys think? Or, this was this. And I try to release something about that episode after it's aired.
Cool. That's awesome. Tell me that. Sorry, Mark.
No, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say, what was the moment like for you the first time you came face to face with the actor in the full alien garb, ready to go? I mean, I can't imagine that had to be some incredible moment just to see that in real life. So
it is. It definitely is. It's a surreal moment.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first was like, I took this whole career serious.
Yeah.
I was in the movie theater and I was watching Iron Man. And I was like, I'm going to make Marvel movies. I'm going to do this. And I did. I didn't think it would happen as fast as it did. But, I spoke it into existence. I threw it out in the universe, and the universe accepted it.
Yeah.
And said, okay, this is what you're going to do. So that first time that I actually seen the alien in front of me, and I'm sitting here actually working with the team at the time because of some things I had to do for visual effects.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow. And then the realism in that suit. Animatronics that are a part of that suit. And I have the luxury in my job capacity that I have to talk to the director. I have to talk to the DP. I have to work with the camera operators. Sometimes I have to operate depending on what it is. All the actors, costume, wardrobe. I used to stay into it with hair and makeup because it's like, you can't shoot them before we come over. And I'm just like, okay. Our vendors, on our vendor side, it is just, to me, I have the best job because there's not a department that I don't touch working in visual effects.
Yeah, I totally get that. As being a Marvel fan, I would have been so stoked for any of those things. But I think the Alien would hold something extra special because it's surreal. It's like, I can't believe this is happening moment, you know?
It is. It really does, because when I go down my surreal moments, Aliens is definitely in my top 5.
Yeah.
Working with Robert Downey Jr. and getting to talk to him every day, my number 1.
Cool.
Seeing all the different Marvel suits that we put together. As far as my top directing team is the Russo brothers. They are just awesome guys.
Nice.
And then just the executives that I get to meet with, because a lot of times I get called into producer things, and I'm like, "Who are y'all calling?" And my name is the one getting called. And so you have these surreal moments, and you're just trying to be in the room but make yourself super little. But then you have people asking you questions, and I'm like, they really want to know how I want to approach something or what I think, or given that responsibility. Because on Aliens, a lot of times Jeff would be like, "Hey, I got this meeting, so you have to stand in for me. You got to go on this scout. You have to go do this." And I'm like, "Huh? I'm used to the technical side and being on set, and that's my world." Like, to me, it's not that it's second nature. It's just that you know the process. So it's like, okay, oh, you want to do it this way? Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Oh, this is a learning moment for me, or this is a teaching moment for me, helping somebody else. But then now, when you step into the executive side or the more of the supervisor side, that's a new world to me, and I really hit on that on this show, and I love the responsibility of it. I didn't always feel comfortable in it because it's new, but it's like, okay, so this is how this goes. Oh, the decisions are made. So it's different, but I wouldn't change it.
Is there a moment that you can talk about that you felt like you were there in that world? And the example I have is I was on the Orville set, and the ship loses power, and even though you just feel like you're there in the moment for real, and the movie making part of it kind of fades away.
Yes. So if you go back to between the first and second episode, when your tiny ship crashes into the building, nowhere kicks off. We actually did a day and a night shoot for that.
Oh.
And it's just like, wow. And in the first episode, towards the end of the show, where you see the search and rescue team, they're all working out and everything. You guys know that was part of the U.S. Embassy. We were allowed to shoot up there in the building.
Wait, repeat that again, please. Repeat that again. There was what?
The U.S. Embassy.
Okay.
Wow.
When we were across the street from them, the office building that we have, U.S. Embassy has offices in that building, and the direction we were shooting in was towards the other embassy, which is across the street. But we were limited in what we could shoot because they were like, "Hey, no camera space this way, no camera."
Sure.
But it's just like, that's a surreal moment, because even shooting that, the way that Noah and Dana set that shot up and the way that Jeff helped visually concept it, it literally made me think about an airplane crashing. Actually, had a 9/11 moment in that.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's just like, wow.
Yeah, it always feels like something magical happens when, like, the crew and everything kind of falls away for you, and that moment where you're filming or they're filming is pretty incredible.
And then when you see the ground units, when Herman and the team were rushing into that building, the amount of extras that we had that day, the vehicles, the military vehicles, all those were concepts, and to see them go from paper to, all right, now I'm actually shooting this vehicle. Excuse me, the bucket of plane that we used to get them all there, that was surreal.
Yeah, neat. Really cool.
Very surreal.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. All right, your stories are red meat to us. They're two incredible, kind of hard to believe. Of course, we believe them, but kind of surreal, kind of hard to believe, kind of things that you went through. I want to do, if possible, with your permission, a part 2 on this with Lee involved.
Cool.
just so I can get you guys to play off each other, because I'm sure you guys got both memories that neither one of you probably even know about. But once you touch on it, you can strike something. I was hoping that Lee could slip in, but he's in travel. Like I said, I think he's on his way to Heathrow. He's about to fly back home. Lee's in Thailand, right? He's in Thailand as well. Oh, Singapore.
Yeah.
My other buddy, I have another buddy, retired expat here who lives in Thailand. So yeah, he's in Singapore. So he's already confirmed that he wants to do a show with us all and on. So let's get something scheduled, since we're all at DragonCon next week. We can't do it for next week, so it'll probably have to be the weekend after, if possible. I'll send you a formal invitation, Calvin, if you don't mind. But what I don't like is taking up the time of people who I asked to be on. I don't want to take advantage of it. I could have you here for 3 hours.
Easily.
If you let us. Yeah, easily, if you let us, because we have had guests on shows before that we just kept on going and not realizing, how long we've been on. So, but to have you both
disappears.
Yeah, to have you both on at the same time. I'm sorry, Calvin, go ahead.
I said I love it. Let's do it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we can advertise this. We can use this portion of it as a teaser for the next show, the whole 9 yards. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and end this now, and just talk to my audience and basically say, hey, look, Alien Earth is still on. It's not. We've done interviews and shows where the shows are no longer Mark Orville, where the shows are no longer on the air, and we've had cast members on. In fact, we interviewed your friend Mark before he started filming Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Peter Macon. Yep.
And there's a lot he couldn't tell us.
Yeah.
Okay, and we know we're in not even, how many episodes of Alien Earth are they filming for this season?
8. There's 8.
Okay, so we're third in, basically, kind of like, close to a third into Alien Earth. That gives us enough time to see, Tuesday's episode. Okay, and then we'll be at DragonCon, and hell, man, I'll watch it on my phone in my bedroom, while I'm at DragonCon. Oh no, I'll be home. Actually.
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Today is Monday. That'll be Tuesday, so I'll be home for that. So that following weekend seemed to me would be perfect, because then we would have 2 episodes that we haven't seen yet that he can give us the backstory on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That cool for everybody?
Yeah.
All right. That's perfect. So look, guys, we had Calvin Greer on to kind of expose to us his job and what it is that he does for Alien Earth, which is an incredible series. Both Mark and I just kind of went gaga. I remember I saw season 1 and I'm texting, and I think all I did put on there was holy shit.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
It's that. And then I saw the same night, I saw the second episode. I think I was on major OMG after that.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm in, you got me. We loved it. We loved having you on, Calvin. So give us 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And get you back on, and you pretty much know how the format of the show runs, and with pictures and audio, we didn't get knocked off by anybody. So I guess those the videos were fine.
We're fine.
With legal, or whatever. But man, dude, I have so many more questions to ask you, but
I have so many as well.
I know. So, but when we get Lee to join us, and I'm sure it'll be so many mind-bending stories, just like the ones you already told us. I'm fascinated by what you do. I'm gonna spoil it now, though, because I just retired, Calvin. I'm into my 3rd week, I think, of retirement.
I think so.
But I retired, Calvin, as an architectural engineer.
Oh. Okay.
So then look, I know what you mean with the math and crap like that, but dude, I got around it. Ain't gonna admit to legally getting around it, but I got around it. And I did what I did for 50 years, dude. For 50 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, I appreciate it. But now I'm sitting on the couch watching Alien Earth. I mean, well, it could be worse, right?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Hey, look, we're Voices from Fandom. We bring incredibly interesting people like Calvin Greer, book interesting people like Lee Stringer, and you're going to see them again in 2 weeks. So come back then. By that time, you would have seen 2 episodes, and there's going to be a lot more to talk about. There's going to be questions that you guys are going to have. So gear up, get them ready, and we're going to talk to this man again. Very interesting. Calvin, I'll text you. Maybe we can, while we're in Atlanta, we can get together or something like that. Stop by the convention and whatever, and get your eye full.
Okay.
All right.
Definitely.
So we'll figure something out for you.
Okay.
So look, thank you everybody for joining us. Appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. Mark, hang around. I'll get back to you. Even Calvin, hang around. Hold on. Message from Lee. Hold on. Let me see what this is. Let me see what he's saying here. He is saying, is it finally checked in? Now security. It's like, who are you again? But anyway, so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Guys, hang on there for a second.
Sure.
No problem.
Goodbye to the rest of the folks. Have a great weekend. We will be seeing you, talking.